neighbor checked your house while you were gone and. My dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says your neighbor checked your house while you were gone and. My dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says, God says, this message has reached you in divine timing, and Archangel Michael is standing near you right now commanding you not to ignore this. This is not ordinary. This is not casual. This is very serious. While you were gone, your neighbor checked your house and found something shocking, something that was never meant to be seen by human eyes before this moment. They were not snooping, they were guided by a divine pull, because heaven wanted what was hidden in darkness to be brought into light. When they stepped inside, a sudden chill passed through your home. The air became still, almost frozen, as though angels paused the moment in time. The neighbor's heart started pounding, and they felt as though someone unseen was standing near them, whispering, "Be careful. This truth will change everything." They opened your door slowly, and what they found was not just a physical thing, it was a spiritual revelation wrapped in mystery. They found a small envelope, hidden behind a shelf, with your name written on it in handwriting that did not belong to anyone you know. The moment they touched it, the light flickered, and Archangel Michael descended spiritually into that space. He saw what was hidden inside, a secret that the enemy tried to bury for years. That envelope carried more than words, it carried a confession. It carried proof. It carried the truth about something that has been silently blocking your blessings, your peace, your finances, and your relationships. God says this discovery is not an accident. The neighbor who found it was guided by heaven to expose what the darkness had hidden. Inside that envelope were photographs, papers, and one piece of jewelry that once belonged to you, a ring or a pendant, that someone had stolen long ago. But you were told you misplaced it. It was not lost. It was taken, intentionally, by a person who wanted to keep your spiritual energy trapped. That object was used as a link to channel negative energy into your home, but the moment the neighbor found it, the spell broke. The energy that once circled around you like invisible chains shattered in the presence of divine light. God says, don't be afraid. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. Archangel Michael fought a spiritual battle the very moment that envelope was discovered. The air that suddenly became heavy was the soundless roar of that battle, light overtaking darkness, truth defeating lies. And now heaven says, you are free. But listen carefully, because there is a message inside this revelation meant only for you. When the neighbor brought the envelope closer to the window light, they saw a name written inside, a name that made them tremble. It was someone close to you, someone who pretended to love you, who used to smile and say good things, but secretly envied your peace. This person had tried to spiritually and emotionally block you by connecting your energy to the object hidden in your own home. They thought you would never find out. But God says, I have seen it all. I have waited for this moment. I have allowed this exposure so you can rise again. Archangel Michael says, do not take this lightly. He is commanding you to pray tonight before you sleep, to light a candle or simply close your eyes and say, God, remove every hidden darkness that was meant to harm me. Because the moment you say that, angels will encamp around your home. The energy that once lingered will vanish. The divine army has already surrounded your space, but your spoken faith activates the final protection seal. God says, this message comes as both a warning and a relief. For so long you felt uneasy, like something in your house didn't feel right. Sometimes you'd wake up in the middle of the night without knowing why, or feel as if someone was watching you when you were alone. That was not your imagination. It was the spiritual residue of what was hidden inside your home. The person who did this wanted you to live in confusion, to keep missing blessings, to doubt yourself, and to feel isolated. But God has now turned that plan into their own downfall. The neighbor who found it might not even understand what they truly uncovered. They may think it was just a strange coincidence. But heaven is using them as a messenger. God guided their steps to your door to expose the invisible chain that was keeping you from walking freely in your purpose. The moment they handed you or mentioned it, a new cycle began in your life. You may not feel it yet, but everything around you is shifting, Archangel Michael says. You have been under observation by heaven for months. Every tear, every strange delay, every lost opportunity was noted. Heaven did not allow it because you were forgotten. It was allowed because a revelation had to take place first, so that when you are lifted, no one can take credit for it but God Himself. The darkness had to reveal itself before the dawn could appear. The neighbor's discovery is the sign that your dawn has begun. The enemy who used your own possessions as a spiritual weapon has now lost authority over you. In the unseen realm, Archangel Michael has already sealed your house with divine light. Angels are walking through every corner, cleansing, restoring, removing what does not belong. You may notice tonight or in the coming days that the atmosphere in your home feels lighter, or you'll suddenly feel peace when you walk into certain rooms that used to feel heavy. That's not a coincidence, that's divine cleansing in action. God says you must now forgive, but not forget. Forgive so your heart stays pure, but remember so your spirit stays wise. Do not confront the person who did this with anger or revenge. God is already dealing with them. Their own guilt will speak louder than your words. You just need to stay silent, stay in faith, and keep your peace. The one who planned against you is already experiencing spiritual confusion. They don't understand why their plans are failing, why their dreams are filled with anxiety, or why they feel spiritually disconnected. It's because heaven withdrew protection from them the moment they touched your name. Now, God wants you to prepare. What was meant to be your downfall will now become your rise. Every time someone tries to destroy you, heaven turns it into your next breakthrough. The discovery in your house is symbolic. It represents how God is uncovering every hidden plot against your destiny. You may soon receive messages, calls, or unexpected news that exposes more truth. Stay calm. Everything revealed from now on is part of your divine cleansing. Nothing will destroy you. You are safe, Archangel Michael says. This is your season of revelation. You must not ignore signs that come to you through dreams, symbols, or even people who suddenly confess things to you. These are not coincidences, they are divine confirmations. Heaven wants you to walk boldly into freedom, no longer held back by fear or confusion. You are being positioned for restoration, God says. You have prayed silently, thinking no one heard. I heard. I saw. And now I act. He allowed this moment so your faith can become evidence of His power. There is a specific blessing being released for you because you stayed strong even when you felt unseen. Within the next few days, you may feel a sudden inner peace, like a weight has been lifted off your chest. That's the spiritual sign that Archangel Michael has completed the cleansing in your environment, but there's one more thing. Inside that envelope, among the papers and the object, there was also a small folded note that your neighbor didn't read completely. It had only a few words written in shaky handwriting. You were never supposed to see this. That sentence alone carries the weight of divine justice. It means the enemy knew the moment you discovered the truth, their control would end. But now you have seen it, and it's over. Their power is broken, God says. Do not fear what was hidden. Rejoice that it is revealed. What once tried to curse you is now turning into your testimony. People will begin to notice a glow about you, a peace, a quiet strength, because heaven is clothing you in spiritual armor. Archangel Michael is walking ahead of you, clearing paths, exposing lies, and preparing blessings that were delayed. Every prayer you thought was unanswered is now being fulfilled in divine timing. Tonight, when you close your eyes, know that angels are standing guard. If you hear small sounds or feel sudden chills, do not be afraid. It's the shift of energy as light overtakes darkness. Your home has been claimed by heaven. You are safe, covered, and divinely watched over. Nothing can harm you now because you are surrounded by the power of divine truth. God says, the truth will set you free, and this is what is happening right now. What your neighbor found was not just an envelope. It was a symbol of the divine revelation that has been waiting for this very moment. Heaven waited until the perfect time to expose this so you could step into your next chapter with full awareness. You are chosen to witness this divine unfolding, Archangel Michael says. Do not ignore the signs that follow this message. You may notice certain names appearing again in unexpected ways, certain conversations resurfacing, or people suddenly wanting to reconnect after a long silence. Pay attention. Some of these are guided by heaven to bring closure, while others are tests of discernment. Listen to your intuition. It is heaven's voice within you. God says, rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. The situation that began as a spiritual trap has become the very key that unlocks your future. The divine light is restoring everything that was once stolen: peace, joy, opportunities, and love. You will soon notice breakthroughs happening unexpectedly: financial blessings, reconciliations, sudden calls of opportunity. These are signs of your restoration. The neighbor who found that envelope might contact you again or mention something small, but every word they say will carry hidden divine meaning. God will speak through them even if they don't realize it. Pay attention to their tone, their timing, and their words. Heaven uses ordinary people to deliver extraordinary messages. God says, "This is a very serious moment, and you must not ignore this warning." Archangel Michael himself is standing beside you, his wings spread wide, his presence filling your home with divine light and authority. He says, "Do not skip this. I order you, this is urgent." Your neighbor, while you were gone, checked your house, and what they discovered could have changed everything, but God's protection has held strong. You are safe. Do not be afraid. Trust me. Pray. The neighbor saw signs, small yet significant, that something had been amiss. Papers moved. Small items that should have been untouched were slightly displaced, and yet, nothing was stolen, nothing broken. It is clear that forces were at work, but they failed because God's hand is always above you, shielding you from harm. Michael says, "You are chosen to witness this moment. You are chosen to be aware. You are chosen to understand." Do not underestimate the spiritual significance of what is unfolding. You may feel fear creeping into your heart, but God says, this fear is only temporary. The forces that sought to disrupt your peace cannot touch you. They cannot breach the shield that surrounds you. You are under divine surveillance and care. Michael's voice is firm. His tone urgent. Many ignore warnings like this every day. Many disregard the signs. But you are not like them. You have been given eyes to see beyond the physical. You have been granted discernment to perceive what is hidden. Now, listen closely. What the neighbor discovered is a symbol, a sign, a confirmation of what God has already revealed to you in prayer and meditation. There were subtle hints, whispers of energy, echoes of intentions that are not pure. But you were protected. God's angels were there before you even arrived home. Michael says, "I was there. I held the doorway. I watched over the threshold." You cannot imagine the battle that occurred in the spiritual realms to ensure your safety today. God says, "Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected." Even if those around you cannot see the divine orchestration, you will feel it. You will witness the results. Nothing hidden can escape my eyes. Nothing hidden can escape my care. What you do not see now, you will understand soon. Trust me. Your neighbor, unaware of the spiritual significance, may have felt unease, or even fear. But God says, do not be troubled by the reactions of others. Their perception is limited. Their understanding is partial. What matters is your awareness, your vigilance, your prayer. You are part of a divine plan that extends far beyond the walls of your home, far beyond the street you live on, far beyond the city, even beyond the nation. Your life is intertwined with events that only heaven fully comprehends. Archangel Michael urges you to prepare yourself spiritually. Now is not the time for hesitation. Now is not the time for delay. Open your heart fully. Open your mind fully. Align your thoughts with God's truth. Pray continuously. Speak His name. Feel His presence. You are not alone. You have never been alone. There is a force, a presence, that tried to test your boundaries. It sought to unsettle you, to create confusion, to plant seeds of doubt and fear in your life. But God intervened. Michael says, I stood at the threshold. I did not allow darkness to enter. I did not allow harm to touch your possessions, your family, your spiritual peace. What you see today is only a fraction of what was prevented. Rejoice, and give thanks, for the unseen battles were real, and you emerged victorious. Now, pay attention to your surroundings. There may be signs lingering, subtle vibrations in the energy around your home. A window slightly open, a faint smell that shouldn't be there, objects misplaced, shadows that seem to move with intention. All of these are indicators, not of danger, but of divine communication. Michael says, these are markers of awareness. Do not be alarmed. Do not be afraid. They are lessons, reminders, confirmations that the spiritual world is active, alert, and protective over you. God says, you must continue to pray. You must continue to trust. You must continue to act with awareness and discernment. There is no room for negligence at this time. Spiritual awareness is your shield, prayer is your armor, and faith is your sword. You may feel tempted to dismiss this message as coincidence, as imagination, as overthinking. But Archangel Michael warns, do not underestimate the timing. Do not underestimate the significance. Those who ignore the subtle warnings of God often regret it, for the consequences of inattention can be severe. You have been granted clarity. Use it. Follow it. Obey it. Your neighbor's discovery is not just about objects or signs. It is a spiritual mirror, reflecting what has been protected, what has been shielded, and what could have been lost. God says, every small detail matters. Every subtle indication has meaning. You have been entrusted with awareness. Use it wisely. Pray and discern the messages that are not visible but are felt deeply in your soul. Michael emphasizes the urgency again. Time is of the essence. Do not delay your prayers. Do not delay your meditation. Do not delay your connection to the divine. The energy around your home is changing rapidly. What was attempted in darkness has already been stopped, but vigilance must continue. You are part of a larger plan, one that God is unfolding in perfect timing. God says, "Trust that I am with you. Trust that my angels surround you. Trust that what seems uncertain will become clear. Trust that protection is always active, even when unseen. Nothing can overtake you if you continue in faith." Your home is a sacred space, a sanctuary that God Himself guards. The neighbor's visit is a reminder, a nudge, an urgent signal that divine attention is focused on you. Michael says, "Do not ignore this. Take action in prayer. Strengthen your spiritual defenses. Invite God's presence into every room, every corner, every space where darkness tried to linger. Light must fill what was threatened, and only you can open the doors of awareness to let it shine fully. There may be lingering fear or doubt in your heart, and that is natural. But God says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Doubt not, for I am the source of your clarity." Confusion is temporary. Protection is eternal. Your life is guided, your path is directed, your steps are watched. Michael instructs you to speak aloud prayers of protection over your home. Say them with intention. Say them with faith. Do not merely recite words, but feel them resonate in your spirit. Place your hands over your heart and each room, commanding that only light, only love, only God's presence may dwell. The enemy, if any, has no power here. Darkness cannot stay where light reigns. Your neighbor's observation was a window. A glimpse, a warning that serves as confirmation that your spiritual vigilance is necessary and effective. Michael says, "Do not take this lightly." The smallest disruption in your attention can create openings that are unnecessary. Be alert. Be steadfast. Be prayerful. God continues, "You are safe. Nothing can harm you. I have placed my angels in every corner of your home. I have positioned Michael at the front of your doorway, at the entrance of your heart, at the center of your spirit. You are enveloped in divine protection that surpasses human comprehension. Now, focus on your faith. It is your anchor in these times." Michael says, "Faith is the channel through which you receive divine energy, divine insight, and divine protection. Strengthen your faith daily. Speak prayers in the morning and at night. Walk in the light, and you will never falter. Your home is your sanctuary, your heart is your compass, your mind is your gateway. Guard them with awareness and prayer. Even the smallest things your neighbor noticed, a paper shifted, a door slightly ajar, a scent unfamiliar, are pieces of the puzzle. God says, everything matters. Every detail is part of a larger spiritual revelation. Observe carefully, but do not fear. Everything is under control. The light prevails, always. Michael warns, do not delay in reinforcing spiritual barriers. Visualize walls of divine light around your home. See angels patrolling the perimeter. Sense the protective energy. Speak aloud words of command in God's name. You are not powerless. You are empowered. You are chosen. You are guided. You are protected. Your neighbor's role was incidental, yet purposeful in God's plan. Their discovery is a confirmation of vigilance and awareness. Michael says, even those unaware of spiritual battles are sometimes instruments of divine revelation. Your neighbor was meant to observe, to trigger your awareness, to remind you of God's presence and protection. God reassures you, you are never alone. Every attempt to harm you has been stopped. Every attack against your peace has been nullified. Every shadow has been illuminated by my presence. Rest in this truth, and continue your prayers without ceasing. Your home, your heart, and your spirit are sanctuaries. The neighbor's sighting is a reminder, not a threat. Michael says, let this be a call to renewed awareness. Let this be a signal to deepen your spiritual practice. God says, my beloved child, listen to me carefully. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, his wings spread wide around you, shimmering with divine light, because something serious has been revealed. He says, don't ignore this message. Don't scroll away. Don't doubt what you are about to hear. This is very serious. Heaven has seen what happened when you were not at home. Your neighbor checked your house while you were gone, not out of curiosity, but because something caught their attention. And what they found has been recorded in the book of Revelation that heaven keeps open for the chosen ones. Child, you have been under the watch of angels every second, even when you thought you were alone. You wondered why the air felt heavy recently, why the energy in your room felt strange. That was not your imagination, it was a sign. The angels tried to warn you in gentle whispers, in chills that passed through your skin, in dreams that left your heart racing. And now, the truth is being revealed because God does not want you to fear the unknown. Your neighbor was guided by an unseen force, not to harm you, but to uncover something that had been hidden in your space. When they stepped into your home, the air shifted. They paused, feeling something they couldn't explain, like a presence watching them. They found something small yet powerful, something they didn't understand, something that heaven knew would soon come to light. Archangel Michael says, you must know this truth. This is not an accident. This is divine timing. The object, or the energy that your neighbor encountered, was not ordinary. It carried spiritual significance, a sign from God, a mark of divine protection that has been with you for years. Your angels have been placing signs around you for a long time, coins on the ground, feathers near your door, flickering lights at midnight. The sudden ringing in your ears when you pray. All these were messages that the heavenly realm was active in your life. Now God says, my child, this situation will not harm you. You are not in danger. What was found is only part of the story, and I am writing the rest. Your neighbor has seen something that will change how they look at you, because heaven wants your testimony to be witnessed. The truth is that your presence carries divine light, and that light reveals hidden things. When someone steps near your energy, their soul reacts. If their intentions are pure, they feel warmth and peace. But if they hold jealousy, envy, or deceit, your energy exposes it. That is what has been happening. Archangel Michael says he has been guarding your doors, your walls, and your sleep. When you were away, your guardian angels kept watch. They saw every movement, every step, every thought. Nothing was missed. God says, I allowed this to happen because I want to expose what has been hidden. I want you to see how I protect you even when you are unaware. You may have wondered why lately your intuition has been stronger, why you've been sensing energy from people, why you feel vibrations in your hands or see flashes of light when you close your eyes. That is not fear. That is awakening. The Spirit of God is increasing your awareness because your spiritual mission is about to begin in a higher dimension. You were chosen for this revelation, and Archangel Michael has been ordered to guide you through it. Your neighbor's action was not random, it was a reflection of divine orchestration. They were meant to witness something that would later prove your purity. Heaven often uses ordinary people to reveal extraordinary truths. When they looked around your home, they were drawn to something sacred, something carrying the vibration of heaven itself. Maybe it was a photograph, a letter, a piece of jewelry, or even a simple object that held your energy. Whatever it was, it emitted divine frequency. That frequency is what called them, and what protected your space, child. God says you have been misunderstood by many. Some people around you have been secretly envious of your peace. They watch your silence and mistake it for weakness. They do not understand that your silence is your armor, that your prayers are your weapon, that your faith is your fortress. The reason God allowed your neighbor to see what they saw is to let them know, you are divinely guarded, and any attempt to harm or mock you will turn into a lesson from heaven. Archangel Michael says, I have already sealed this situation. No harm shall enter your home. No evil shall cross your threshold. The one who doubts you will soon see miracles unfold in your favor. Now, listen carefully, because God says this next part is for your heart. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even when people walked away, even when tears fell in silence, even when you felt unseen, heaven was with you. I, the Lord, have been with you. I saw every night you prayed for peace, every day you tried to forgive those who hurt you, every moment you whispered God help me under your breath. And I helped you, in ways you didn't notice, through protection you didn't realize, through delays that saved you. The moment your neighbor stepped into your space, angels surrounded them. Their energy was weighed. Their thoughts were heard by heaven. The angels discerned their intent, and what they found will soon reveal itself in your favor. Do not be afraid if strange things begin to happen, such as dreams about the past, flashes of light, or a sudden sense of relief. These are confirmations that the angels are cleansing your home and renewing your spiritual covering. God says, you must pray tonight. You must say, Lord, I surrender my home, my heart, and everything hidden to your light. Let nothing impure dwell in my presence. Let only love remain. When you say this, you activate the divine seal of protection over your life again. Archangel Michael says, I have seen the attempts made against your peace. I have watched people speak lies about you behind closed doors. I have witnessed the envy, the gossip, the betrayal. But the time of their secret words is over. God is about to make public the truth of your innocence. Every wrong spoken about you will be reversed. Child of God, heaven is not punishing you. This exposure is your deliverance. It is the turning point where the hidden becomes known. You may hear rumors, but do not react. You may sense people watching, but do not fear. You may receive unexpected calls, but stay calm. God says, I am using this situation to build your name upon truth. You will rise from this moment stronger than ever before. You are stepping into a divine realignment. Everything that was taken from you, everything that was delayed, everything that was stolen energetically or emotionally, it is returning. You will begin to see divine timing unfolding, unexpected blessings, messages from people you thought had forgotten you, and even financial miracles that seem impossible. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations that the angels are working. Archangel Michael says, the enemy tried to use curiosity to invade your space, but heaven turned it into protection. The one who thought they were exposing you ended up exposing themselves. You are entering a new spiritual season. The next few days will be filled with signs. Watch for patterns, repeating numbers, sudden chills, the flicker of lights when you speak God's name, and the appearance of birds or butterflies near your window. Each sign will carry reassurance from heaven that everything is under control. God says, do not confront. Do not fear. Simply trust. The same neighbor who checked your house will soon carry the burden of conviction in their heart. They will feel uneasy because they saw something that did not belong to them. It is not you who must speak, it is I, the Lord, who will speak through their conscience. They will be reminded in dreams. They will feel my spirit calling them to confess, to return what is not theirs, or to admit the truth. Child, you are being elevated. When the light of God falls upon a person, it exposes darkness, not to shame, but to heal. This situation is a divine setup for your next blessing. Archangel Michael is preparing to deliver a miracle that has been delayed by negative energy around you. Now that energy is breaking, the angels have already marked your home with divine protection. No curse can enter, no ill will can stay. When you sleep tonight, Archangel Michael will stand at the door, sword of light in hand. He will watch every corner of your room. He will whisper peace over you. You will wake up lighter, freer, and stronger. God says, you are not cursed, you are chosen. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. The pain you felt was not the end, it was the preparation. The fear you felt was not danger, it was transformation. Your prayers are being heard. The same angels who watched your home will now watch over your path. Expect clarity about people, opportunities, and decisions. You will feel a divine push towards something new, a new job, new love, or new direction. That is God's plan unfolding. The one who checked your home unknowingly walked into a spiritual battlefield, one where heaven already won. You do not need revenge, you need rest. You do not need fear, you need faith. Because the truth is this: God always defends His own. So tonight, breathe deeply and say, Lord, thank you for protecting me even when I didn't know I needed it. Thank you for exposing what was hidden. Thank you for turning fear into faith. Archangel Michael stands beside you even now. His voice echoes, "You are safe. You are chosen. You are under heaven's command. The divine seal is upon your name, and nothing can change it. Stay calm. Pray. Trust. What was meant to disturb your peace will now bring your greatest blessing. Heaven has spoken, and when heaven speaks, no human can silence it. You are safe. You are protected. You are loved. God is with you, and nothing will go wrong. God says, Archangel Michael says, don't ignore me. I order you, don't skip this. This is very serious. Your neighbor checked your house while you were gone and found something they were never supposed to see. It wasn't just a random act. It was guided by divine timing, because heaven wanted a hidden truth to be revealed. They thought they were sneaking, they thought they were looking into something private, but they didn't realize they were being led by an invisible hand, and now what they saw has changed the entire course of your destiny. God says, this isn't to make you afraid, but to awaken you, because what was found wasn't an accident. Something sacred, something that